Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome back to Cold Waters, where we just inserted a SEAL team into Archangels on the far east side of the map. We have a small armament left, but we're tasked with going home ASAP in order to resupply, replenish our stores, do some repairs, which currently we don't need, and on the way home, if we have any targets of opportunity, we are allowed to sink them. It looks like the Russian Navy's not really coming out to play today. Oh, actually, I stand corrected. There's a submarine just north of Andoya, but I'm going to head home anyway. Now, Seawolf does come equipped with 8 torpedo tubes, so I have 8 weapons left, 3 of which I believe are anti-ship missiles, but most of which are torpedoes, so if push comes to shove, I can still push back. Anyway, home we are. 179,000 tonnage sunk. Really? You feel this last patrol was of limited success? I inserted a SEAL team which blew up half the harbor of Arkhangelsk. What's the problem? Now, what do they want? Spetsnaz commandos will land in the vicinity of Andoya within the next week. You're ordered to intercept and eliminate before they land. Here's the thing. It's going to take me quite a while to reload. Taking on torpedoes is going to cost me 30 minutes. Taking on anti-ship missiles is going to cost me significantly more time. So for now, I'm just going to keep loading a few torpedoes. I'm going to keep this thing under 24 hours in dock. So I do like the anti-ship missiles. I might be able to load... Well, okay, we have 24 hours in dock, or in port really. We're carrying a ton of torpedoes with a couple of anti-ship missiles. Let's do it like that. There we have 8 torpedo tubes loaded with torpedoes. Cast off, let's go. Oh, if that's them, then they're already there. Are they? I'm not sure if they're just passing that area. Denmark's overcome. Did they just pass through the area, or is that the submarine group that's tasked with deploying the Spetsnaz group? They are awfully hanging around there. Come on, Seawolf, race. I might catch them just as they're deploying, but I did come in at 28 knots. So if they didn't hear me before, they're sure as hell going to hear me now. What do we have to work with? Looks like the layer, yeah, floor is at 1900 feet, so that's not going to be a problem. There and Andoya, so they should be around about there. Let's make a course correction south for now.
Con, maneuvering, making turns for 1,
Bingo.
0.
We have. Oh, you're not actually where I'd expected you to be, Sierra 1. Now this has to be a submerged contact because we saw a submarine group. So what are we dealing with here? I'm thinking it might be a Victor 1. That would make sense. Let's make a slight course correction back east because I want my aft sonar array, my towed array, to pick him up. He is only being picked up on the towed array, but barely. He might be above the layer, especially considering he was cavitating. I'd say he's above the layer, and for some reason making a lot of speed. So let's have a listen closer to the layer and see if we can get a bit more information on him. There we go, our medium frequency sonar picked him up as well. LF MF passive, that's the hull mounted array. The question is, will his signature become stronger or weaker? Weaker. Okay, so you're just below the layer then. Yep, he's definitely below the layer. Our signature just got a lot stronger. Alright, we're going to make a course correction further east, trying to find this guy and get a little bit more of a solution built on him. Continue to build our target motion analysis pattern. Heading due east at 5 knots. We're building him up to 62 now. 62% that is. His signature is definitely being picked up very, very nicely by the towed array. I do, however, think that this is not the only target that we have around here. I think there are more. Because you do not really send out a Victor 1, which is a nuclear boat, to deliver Spetsnaz forces. Or at least the Russians don't. I mean, Seawolf's nuclear powered and they send me out to go after Arkhangelsk. Okay, his signature is getting really, really strong now, and there he is.
Sierra 1 is classified as submerged
Ranged 18,000 yards, and he is below the layer. Okay, I'm going to fire a torpedo in his direction. I'm going to set it to active, and then I'm going to pop above the layer. Tricky. You know, I do want an active torpedo.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
We're just going to make a little bit less depth, get above the layer so we won't be able to hear him anymore.
300 feet.
And hopefully that did mask our launch as well. His speed is 30 knots though, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's too deaf to hear anything anyways. Looks like we may have to adjust the direction of this torpedo just a little bit, because he's making a sudden course correction. Alright, that will do. I wonder if this is also going to spook the other boat. The one that is dropping off the Spetsnaz team. If he hears a torpedo, he might think that the torpedo is coming for him. If he does, that might cause him to start maneuvering violently as well, which would allow detection for me. Or by me, rather. Let's get the weapon closer. He's not really giving me any indication that he heard it. Well, now he has. Yep, he's moving away at 31 knots. He is definitely running from the torpedo. Torpedo is about to go active and has acquired. And that Victor 1 really does not have a lot of places to go. I'm going to steer the torpedo manually. Try to come in from his side, because then any noisemakers dropped will not be effective. He's trying to make a turn. In doing so, he's turning right into the torpedo. So we can hit him square on the nose. Gotcha.
lost contact. Sierra 1,
Target destroyed.
last bearing 2,
Now, where's your buddy?
1, contact breaking up.
We have conditions of 81 decibels. What I'm looking for is most likely going to be a Romeo. A Romeo or a Sierra. It's the Deltas, Typhons, Kulas. Sorry, a Kilo. That's what I'm looking for. 125 decibels. Ambient noise is 81. Let's head towards that target that we just blew up, because they generally stick together. I'm going below the layer to make sure that, there we go, that I can hear him. This is what I was expecting him to do. I'm pretty much where I was expecting him to be. I thought he was going to be there or there. Building solution. Towed array is definitely getting the stronger signal, although the passive, so the hull mounted, is going up. 50%. 55, 60%. We now have a course for him. I'm not going to reload tube 1 yet, that makes noise. Let's make a slight correction due southwest. 71%, 72%. See, this matches up with a Kilo. I wasn't even sure that it was going to be a Kilo I thought it was going to be a Kilo, maybe a Tango, maybe a Foxtrot. Either of those boats would do. But it matches up perfectly with a Kilo.
Con sonar.
So, so naturally, it turns out to be a Tango. Oh, isn't that wonderful? What's the difference between a Tango and a Kilo? Yeah, very, very little. Okay. Now, where are you? Cannot quite see him yet. Or can we? He's off to a bearing of... what's that? 270. So we should see... there he is. Yep, that's the one. Alright. I'm thinking of just having some fun with this guy, because he does not know that we're here. Well, sorta. He just doesn't know where we are. He probably heard the explosion from his escort. That was hard to miss. But he does not know that there is a torpedo coming for him. At least not yet. Seems to be changing his depth a little bit. 12,000 yards. Sorry, 13,000 yards. Let's see how close we can get. 12,500 yards. Come right. 11.5. There, you can see him much, much more clearly now. Now, if I come in on his stern, he's going to have issues. He will not be able to detect me. His speed is 8 knots, minus 5, so at this point I will not be able to catch him. I'm going to have to go to 10 knots to do that. He's making a northern course correction, ever so slightly. Increase to 10 knots.
Make turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering
So we
on.
just doubled our speed. $7,000 yards. 6.5. Rudder 5 degrees starboard. Or rudder right 5 degrees. 6,000 yards. Come here, buddy. Come here. Shit, he's making a correction starboard. Or he's making correction east. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult for me to sneak up on him. 4,500 yards. I don't think he heard me yet. He's making... is he? No. His course is pretty stable at 059. 057. 056. He's making course correction north. We are coming up right on his stern. His speed's 8 knots minus 10, so we are closing. Current distance, 3,500 yards. Here, buddy, buddy, buddy. The ultimate hunter. 3,400 yards. 3-3. 3-2. Look at his signature. Passive sonar is not, or the towed array is not picking him up, but my bow sonar, absolutely. 2,900. 28. He still has no idea I'm here. 26. 25. How close can we get? 23. 2,200 yards. If this is not point blank, I don't know what is. 1900 yards. And closing. 1800. He is doing some weird diving maneuvers every now and then. 1600 yards. What do you think? We put him out of his misery? Well, put him out of his misery. He doesn't even know that there is any misery coming after him. 1300 yards. 1200. 1100. This guy right here. 1000 yards. That's how close he is.
Sound muted.
Forgot my TS. There we go. So he's 900 meters out. Insert Jaws theme. Alright. Tube 2. Target Sierra 2. Extremely short range shot. Weapon active.
Shoot Tube 2. Aye, sir.
Tube 2 launched.
Con, fire control. Weapon acquired.
This torpedo for him must come absolutely out of nowhere. He doesn't even drop a noisemaker anymore.
02, last bearing 05.
Let's make sure we don't run into that thing as it's going down. Alright, reload tubes 1 and 2. Talk about playing with your food. Goodbye.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Alright, 1 ready,
Con,
2
torpedo
ready.
room, tube 2
Let's
ready.
get out of here. Targets both sunk. And that was the Spetsnaz commandos, but we barely made it there in time. That was close. Red subs sunk. At sea replenishment, I thought I sunk most of these things already, but apparently not so much. They're sailing from Arkhangelsk, so that thing's back in operation, for a rendezvous back in the Barents Sea. Let's go and have some fun with those things. They're coming in from Arkhangelsk, then they're going to take their sweet time getting there. I might be able to intercept them on the length of Gremika. Constant ASW patrols are quite annoying though. There we go. Surface groups are too fast for patrol speed. I'm again coming in at 28 knots. This is risky.
Ship for ultra quiet.
We have a Grisha 3, Sierra 1 bearing 018. Bloody hell, it's shallow here. 520. I hope that Seawolf can be so quiet that we don't get detected instantly.
New contact bearing 0.
Alright, there's Sierra 2.
Designated Sierra 2.
So Sierra 2 is pretty noisy. Considering I picked him up on passive, not on the towed array just yet. I'm probably too deep for the towed array to be effective. As somebody pointed out in the comments, the towed array is probably being dragged along the seabed, which means that we are not able to detect or are able to use it.
0. Contact faded. Con, sonar
There's the
new
Grisha,
contact
there's Sierra
bearing
1, Sierra 2,
0,
and
1,
Sierra
2,
3 and
designated
4.
Sierra 3.
It is going to get busy today.
Con, sonar lost contact. Sierra 3.
There we go, now the
Bearing
towed array's
0,
picking up targets
1,
as
0,
well.
contact faded.
That's definitely a Grisha. What's Sierra 4? I don't think it's a trawler per se. Could be a Chilkin, or a Chilikin, which would be the target.
Con, sonar
So I'm going to say that Sierra 4 is the target. He's just not that far away. I don't believe that. I want to know where exactly that Grisha is and where he's going. His speed is really high. 75% accuracy. 73 is dropping again. Seven knots. Let's send a torpedo or two in that general direction.
Shoot Tube 1. Aye, sir. Shoot Tube 2. Aye, sir.
This is not a very clean shot, but I think that we can vector weapon 1 towards the Grisha and weapon 2 is basically there to go looking and get lucky.
Gained contact on Sierra.
See?
2, bearing 0,
Sierra 2.
3, 2.
I hope we can acquire Sierra 2 with Weapon 2. Weapon 1 just went active. So Sierra 2 is not where it is supposed to be. Sierra, or Weapon 1 has acquired. Weapon 2 is acquired.
Gained contact on Sierra 1,
He's dropping a
bearing
noisemaker,
3,
whatever he
5,
is.
3.
The Grisha has been destroyed.
Weapon acquired.
Con sonar lost contact.
Sierra 2's been destroyed.
Last bearing 0, 1, 8. Contact
Some
breaking up.
sort of surface ship. Reload tubes 1 and 2. What are you exactly? He's making an awful lot of noise.
Torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
And he seems to be coming here in a hurry if he is indeed making 34 knots. That's a ridiculously high speed. What are we dealing with? Could be a Krivac. What else could it be? Could it be another Grisha? Where's the Grisha identification there?
Con,
Nope, not a
torpedo
Grisha.
room, tube 2 ready.
Assuming
Con sonar
Krivac.
Sierra 3 is classified as
Can they make that
escort.
fast? Yeah, they can make 34 knots. So it would match up with his top speed. 72%, 77, 79, 81, 85, 87. Range though is still pretty high, 25,000 yards.
Shoot 2
Alright,
1.
we're gonna have to
Aye, sir.
help that torpedo out a little bit. Otherwise, I don't think he's going to be able to acquire Sierra 3. And as that is going on, I'm going to reload to... Oh, crap. I was going to say I'm going to reload tube 2, but I just cut the wire on tube 1. And I'm reloading it with the Tomahawk anti-ship missile to go after the Chilikin, the main target. Because by now, the Chilikin is getting quite far away. And I can still catch him, but it would turn into a long chase. Not particularly interested in that.
Con,
Alright,
torpedo room,
the
tube
weapon
1
has
ready.
gone active. He's slowing down? He just gave me a fantastic gift. Because I would not be surprised if my torpedo is now able to hear him. Yep, now he heard him. See, if he would just kept moving, he might have sped past the torpedo, and the torpedo would have just been unable to get directions from me because I cut the wire. So he would have been home free. He would have been safe. This way? Not so much. Now there are no helicopters in the area. My F4 key does not do anything. Our torpedo is basically above the water at this point. Which means he is very close to the Krivac.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 4, last bearing
Huh,
0,
okay.
1.
Sierra 4 is faded.
Contact faded.
I'm gonna go towards the surface now. Because I need to try and get to above 150 feet in order to launch that Tomahawk.
Passing 300 feet.
Countermeasure. Torpedo is avoiding the countermeasure. Should start steering back towards the target. Yeah, he's making a left turn. He's dipping down. Coming back up, and he is making course corrections. So he definitely heard something. Going up. And you're toast.
Passing 200 feet.
Another noisemaker in the water. Torpedo does not get too impressed with it, and is avoiding. No, he's at 21,000 yards, so I don't think I'm going to be able to detect him. Not with the periscope. Oh, he passed right underneath, and he didn't get him. Oh, that is one lucky Krivac right there.
Passing 100 feet.
Alright, hold. I hope my torpedo can make a full circle and still acquire the Krivac. Otherwise, what would it target? It wouldn't target me per se. Yep, he's once again reacquired. Now these Russian torpedoes don't last very long, but the Mark 38 ATCAPs, they do. they can stay out there for quite a while hunting you, so they can make more than 1 or 2 passes at a target. Come on. Can you steer fast enough? Yep. He's once again acquired. Looks like the torpedo's now making so much noise that I cannot acquire the target anymore. Come on. Gotcha.
Contact. Sierra
You're done.
3. Last bearing 3, 2, 6. Contact breaking.
Alright, let's get a little close to the surface. 50 feet, periscope depth.
Raise the ESM mast.
Let's see if there's anything out there looking for us. Nothing? Nobody has a radar active?
Raise the radar
Well,
mast.
I'm gonna activate mine. Sierra 3 upgraded.
Con sonar. Master 2 is classified as escort.
Yeah, that's beautiful, but where? Where is Sierra 4?
Con sonar.
Ah, there you are.
On. Sierra 4.
Hello, Chilikin.
2, 0.
Did you really think you could get away from me? He seems to be sketchy, even for radar. But it should be enough for a Tomahawk. At least if I have a bearing for it, that means that he's toast.
Aye, sir.
Weapon away. Reload with a torpedo. There's this booster stage. There's just on travel stage. Now a harpoon against a freighter doesn't always work, but I found that anti-ship missiles, so Tomahawks, they generally have enough punch to actually kill the target in one missile. And the Chilikin does not have any sort of defense, so he is going to be toast. And yes, I'm still happily pinging away with my radar. Yep, he did a small course correction. I'm still happily pinging away with my radar because there are no other surface or subsurface combatants out there that are currently picking up any of my signals. Come on. You should be getting close. Yep, he's going towards the water level, which
Con
means
sonar lost contact. Sierra 4.
that he's
Last
about to
bearing
impact.
0, 2, 2. Contact faded.
Sea skimming. Come on.
Con sonar
Gotcha.
lost contact.
Contact
Sierra
breaking up.
4. Last bearing 0.
Lower the radar mast.
Target destroyed. Ooh, he looks to be in terrible shape. Okay. Right, so that's another surface group sunk. Let's get out of here. All targets destroyed. Now, keep further orders. Yeah, okay, we have to be listening to the radio for the next set of orders. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. A couple more targets sunk here and there. And we still have not won the war. So we still need to do better. Anyway, this is it for this time. I hope to see you soon for the next video.